really interesting. Wow. Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's gonna have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to call. Yep. Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of know, I mean, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets. And we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point, man. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It wouldn't be a
I'm already
quiz.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard.
Yes.
And the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record, that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
The right. But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak. Welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, you know, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
Oh, that's hilarious. And everybody's 50.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
What the hell?
Yeah, so imagine.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
Just
always love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
But, all right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about depipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options to 12 and 1,400 after. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on the site with these other crushers, you know, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. You know, Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. You know, remember Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, you know, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
One of the things I teach people when it comes to poker is when you can get to the turn and there's an opportunity.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning it.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because
Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol, you know.
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, we'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. You know what this means.
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it.
So that's cool
Filthy
because we have
animal.
2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know,
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one. We're here. We're live. It's Saturday. What's up, folks? Good to see you. Happy Saturday morning. We're up nice, bright, and early. Ready to get our learn on Psycho. Cheers. What's up, Cyrus? What's up? Hoka in the house. What's happening? Joe. I already said Cyrus. Mike Cash out there. What's up, guys? Up, bright, and early. Except for Hoka. I think it's like the middle of the night for Hoka, right? So what's up? Bad boy, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, and Joe coming in with a 5-month sub right out the gate. Let me fix the sub goal while I'm on it. We got Sixes. He should be here any second. I've been talking to him this morning. He's going to be joining us. There's Joe's sub coming through. And here comes our man Sixes. What up?
there he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Good. I don't know why. It feels like I haven't talked to you in forever.
Well, that's because last week we talked every single day because I was begging everybody to study with me. So,
Yeah, and then this week we only did like 2. And so, like,
yeah, 2 or 3. Monday, I think we did Monday, some Tuesday, and a little Wednesday.
yeah.
Then it was 2 days you didn't hear me hounding you guys.
I missed you, buddy.
Yeah. Played a little live poker. That was fun,
I
man.
saw that picture of heaps coming out.
Yeah, I should post it, but it was fun. Won our little live poker league, our WSOP league. We're playing for a WSOP main event seat next month. It's right around the corner.
Nice.
So I got to get ready. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely got the best shot in the league, so we'll see. But it's poker, you know.
Nice.
Yep. Hey, Drenning, I'm doing great, buddy. Took a couple days off, ready to come back maybe tonight or tomorrow, but yeah, I'm good, buddy.
Yeah, I got to talk to Mrs. Toe, but I have the itch today myself. I
Nah,
was like, I had a crazy week, super busy, and so Thursday I just did not have the energy to play like I normally do, and so now I'm feeling like, then I did the global stream yesterday, which was fun, but like I'm lacking. I need some more poker in my life.
yeah, because you can't get I mean, I love Global, and I would suggest, people go there and check it out, but they don't always have the schedule that's conducive maybe to what you're used to playing, with the rest of your schedule. So it's a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's great in general. I think there's a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely.
good small stakes stuff, but for guys like you, guys like me who play a lot of the higher buy-in stuff, there's not a lot of selection at the higher buy-ins, especially not during the week. So like I was playing a bunch of $3, 600 guarantees, and $5, 700 guarantees.
Yeah,
Just
see,
support
I
their
did
site
that.
because they're nice enough to let me stream on their channel. But that's not my normal schedule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're building a micro roll, it's pretty
It's
cool
great.
as well because I mean, or a small medium bankroll, like that's a great site to do that shit on. Small fields, quick ass tournaments,
Yep.
and people are just newer to the game, a lot of wrecks, so
Very
it's
little
good.
player pools, absolutely.
Yep.
Let me get some shout outs in real quick. Cap, thank you for the 9-month resub tier 2, brother man. Thank you very much. Good morning, Machine Gun Marlin. Selling the house. What's up, guys?
What's up, Dr. HJ? What's good, my dude? We got pants on today. Yeah, we're not just rocking shorts or bullshit. So yeah, it's business. We mean business this morning. Let's go.
You know you're in trouble if Sixes put pants on.
Yeah, right. Uh,
Right on. So, for those of you guys who are new, we're here for the Pokercoaching.com study stream. We do this every Saturday. Me and Sixes, partners in crime, using the PC.com content. Both of us create content for the site. There are a wealth of great coaches on this site. Assassinato, Lexi Gavin, Tristan Wade. Who am I missing? Matt Affleck, Jonathan Little. All sorts of people. Plus, I've heard some rumblings of some newer coaches coming on that are pretty amazing. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about yet, but that is happening. So, sign up, exclamation point PC in my chat, exclamation point PC in Sixes chat. You can sign up absolutely for free. You get 25 homeworks, I believe, 25 quizzes, a bunch of homeworks, some push pull charts, all these things. Access to a bunch of free webinars. There's content galore. One of the things I want to shout out because I thought it was amazing. Jonathan put out I think it was a little coffee stream, so you can catch it on his YouTube channel. It was about minimizing variance, and I thought it was phenomenal. Sometimes when you see some of this stuff, there's always great information, but it's a little watered down for the public, and so that it can get out to the masses. This minimizing variance hour-long session I thought was just amazing. Talks about volume, talks about bankroll management, talks about swings. I thought it was fantastic. So make sure you check that shit out. I thought it was great.
yeah, and another place you can find those little coffees and Jonathan's content is Spotify. I've been doing some work on a property that I own, and I've been just listening and listening to, Jonathan on Spotify. So all that content's there as well for free. So I would say check that out, give it a listen if you're not doing anything, driving, looking for some good poker content. That's another great resource as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, you want to jump into some quizzes, get some work done?
Yeah, let's do it. We're on a little win streak, so I'm ready, baby. I'm learning these guys' cadence a little bit, is how I feel. I'm starting to feel like I know what the hell to expect a little bit more often. And they all have their specific styles, All these guys have their own specific styles, which is pretty cool.
Definitely. And I'm going to throw a little wrench in your works right away.
Ruh-roh.
679 looks like Lexi Gavin. I don't think we've ever taken one of her quizzes.
Yeah, we have. We took one.
We
took one. And it's a tournament one. Ooh, I like this. And it's Kings and a tournament. Yeah, she took one. No, it was a poker night in America against. Yeah. It was a poker
really
night.
Weird spot where she got bluffed.
Yeah, when she had kings and she showed her a bluff and it was like a 4-liner board or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do 679. Let me check my sound settings since I have this problem 100% of the time.
Yeah, I
Let
was
me.
talking with some people in the Discord for poker coaching, and they were suggesting that we turned our mic down. So if I don't sound loud enough, let me know, because I turned my mic down and the desktop audio way the fuck up. So let me know if that sounds any better, guys.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. I didn't even think about doing that, but I'm gonna play with that as well. If you guys can't hear it, just say something in chat. Let me know. And good morning, boys. Let's start it off. Don't be shy. If you're in here, say what you would do, and maybe give the reason why you might take the action. I think it helps not only you out, but everyone else as well.
Yeah, good point. For those of you guys who are new here, this is very interactive. There's no judgment here. We're all trying to get better. We want to hear what you would think and what you would do. And I want to beat sixes. So make sure you get in there and give me a bunch of right answers.
Hey, good morning, Brandon. Good to see you, buddy. All right, we're going to kick off 679 here. Let's do it.
This is your chance, all you chat pros. Sixes did
Chat
this
pro
last
that
week. It was
shit.
phenomenal. All you chat pros out there, we know you're there. We hear you every day. This is your time to shine. Come one, come all chat pros. This is your moment.
We use Skype journeying, but yeah, this is your moment, boys. And feel free to give a reason why you would do what you would do. It's not like it costs us nothing right now in EB to be wrong. It costs us 0 EB, and we can learn from our mistake, or our leaks right now. So I always look forward to this, and let's go.
Let's play, buddy.
Hey guys, this is Lexi Gavin with Pokercoaching.com, and today I'm going to talk about a hand that I played in the $5,250 Sharpo Championship in Florida at the Seminole Hard Rock. I went pretty deep in this. I got 15th place, I believe, so it was definitely one of my biggest live scores. So we're going to talk about a fun hand that I played. Sitting with roughly 75 big blinds, we're going to open it up with pocket kings to 2,500 at 501K with a 1K ante. It folds to the small blind. He's going to elect to call, and he is an unknown. I don't believe I've played with him. Everyone else in the field was pretty tough. But this particular player I did not recognize. Big blind folds. The flop is 8 of spades, 3 of hearts, 3 of clubs. Small blind checks. What should you do? Should you check, bet 2,000, or bet 6,000?
All right, what y'all think? We checking and being a little deceptive, betting 2K into 7K, or betting big 6K? Get your answers out there.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Brandon. I'll have to figure that out. I don't know why my volume. He said it was low for me. I'm gonna have to cut my mic down some. Let me know if this is better. I'm cutting my mic volume down. But yeah, we'll adjust going into the next video. My bad. And they said you have an echo. That's the first time I've heard that. Yeah, the video volume was low. Okay.
Usually an echo means you have your speakers, but you're wearing headphones.
Yeah, I'm wearing headphones. Yeah, they're saying you had an echo.
Too loud.
Or yeah, I'm gonna cut it down on my end as well. All right, let's figure. It's cool. We'll just adjust it as we go. We got some time. But yeah, this is a pretty common spot. Small blind call range, bit stronger than the big blind call range, of course. But yeah, Peanut says, now let's see, 2,000, 2K, 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 maybe 2.5K, says Brandon. I'd bet small on a pair board 2K. So we're getting a bunch of 2Ks.
Yeah, I got a 6K from Cyrus and then a handful of 2Ks myself. So says Toe should fold pre because he always uses kings. But we didn't do that, so he's checking. Small bet. Marlon's far and small. Yeah, I'm on team small. I'm super big. This is effectively the nuts in my opinion, so I'm betting something. I don't need to chase this guy out of the pot. There's no scary turn cards. 2K sounds good to me.
The 6K killed the action. I think 6K might kill some of his backdoor floats, like Queen, Jack of clubs, and some of those hands that might decide to float with 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw. Because he's gonna have like Jack 10 of club. I mean, not saying Jack 10 of clubs might be a decent candidate, you know, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, 2 overs. But I think we start to lose the prospect of these guys maybe floating if we go too big.
Yeah, we'll even lose like the ace highs, right? A lot of times ace highs float you up.
Yeah, and it just starts like fuck that. Yeah, no reason to bet that large. So yeah, let's do 2K guys and
Pete says 2K is where the sugar is, and Psycho says if it's ACR check fold, he has ace 3.
he has ace 3 spades right here, right? Some reason, like what? All right, let's do it.
Sounds like 2K. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So I gave checking a score of 6 points, betting 2,000 a score of 10 points, and betting 6,000 a score of 2 points. I prefer a bet here, but checking is okay if you don't think that you're going to get 3 streets of value. And on such a dry flop, you might only get 2 streets. So if you think you're only going to get 2 streets, it's okay sometimes to check and start barreling the turn. But this is a board that he's going to assume that you're barreling your entire range because he knows that we know it's hard for him to call if he doesn't have a hand. So I do prefer a bet. Betting 2,000 I think is a great sizing. He is going to have a lot of pairs that he's calling the small blind with and a lot of Broadway suited Broadway type hands. So betting 2,000 is going to get value from those pairs and those Broadway type hands. Whereas if you bet a bigger sizing like 6,000, he might fold the Queen Jack suited, Queen 10, Ace Jack type hands. So you definitely want to induce and keep him in with those types of hands. So I elect to go 2,000, and then he raises to 6K. So what should you do? Should you fold, call, or raise to 18,500?
Ruh-roh, guys. Betting got raised 3x. What are we doing?
Oh, my bad.
Folding,
Can you hear me?
He's got to have a 3. Calling.
I muted myself.
Raising it to 18,500.
Yeah, so we're getting a bunch of calls here. Call. He can do this with all the mid pairs. Call. Getting a bunch of calls. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, buddy?
All right. Yeah, not much. Because I had muted my mic and see if that was helping during the videos. So
yeah, I turned my sound down too. So
yeah, trying some different things. But yeah, now we're seeing. I'm seeing nothing but calls in my chat. Brandon's calling.
All calls except for Cyrus, who's popping it to 18. So Cyrus, explain to me, popping it to 18, obviously for value. Oh, Sharaba. What's up, buddy? He's sounds like he's popping it for value too.
So he's raising here as well, huh? I mean, it feels like we're just gonna lose and let him play perfectly, right? Can he just raise with 9s here and then fold when we come over the top?
I mean, I don't know if he's folding when we come over the top of that overpair, but I think he's also got a shitload of bluffs and things, and like I don't know, like sometimes he's got a 3. I'm kind of on team call as well. Because what I raise here, what am I getting value from that's worse? This bigger pairs with a 3-bet is pre-flop. So it's like 9s and 10s and maybe jacks.
To get flat in this spot, yeah.
He might be check raising some under pairs like 7s, 6s, and 5s because he wants to get it down now. And all turns and rivers are going to suck for him. So he's got hands like that, I guess. And then everything else is just bluffs. So I kind of want to keep all that shit in. And if he can fold an 8 or a pair of 9s, I don't want to give him the chance to.
Yeah, we were saying call and keep his range wide. Dr. HJ says, BQ says, if you have a monster, I want to see the next card before I have to make a decision. I think he folds if we raise, and we pretty much have the nuts. So we keep in worst hands by calling, and when we raise, we practically, a majority of the time, only get called by better, right?
Cyrus says, raising protects your hand from an ace-x float. The thing there is like, I mean, I'm not too scared of the ace-x float. He's got, what, 3 outs twice, so he's about 12-ish%, 12-15%. So like 85% of the time that ace is going to come.
Yep.
So I'm okay with that. And if like a 2, a 4, a 5 come on the turn and the ace-X wants to double barrel, you know, picking up a wheel draw or something, that's great.
Yeah, for me, I don't see the value in really raise unless he's a known spaz. If somebody's known to just spaz out and just is never folding an 8 or some weirdly played overplayer here, I guess we can make a case to exploit and just get it in now, because there could be bad turn cards where they may just stop betting, you know.
Yeah,
But in
this
this case,
he defended the small blind and not the big blind, right? So I guess he doesn't
yeah,
have
this is
that
small
many
blind.
3x hands. Versus if he's in the big blind, he's got a lot more 3x, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's in a small blind, so that's why I kind of want to weight his range towards a lot of pairs and whatnot. But yeah, I think we only call here. If we raise and go all in, then what? If we raise to 18 and he shoves, I mean, we're never folding. We can't. Look how much he's gonna have, like 22 left or something. Or
yeah, I kind of got myself in a conundrum here. Because I'm thinking he's way more weighted toward pairs, and then it's bullshit like queen jack and a double barrel, like barrel this and then barrel turn. Or are they free betting giving up, check raising giving up?
he's going to have a better hand when he shows up and he jams a lot more than he's going to have a worst one.
Probably,
I agree.
Right, for 70 bigs.
Yeah, we just call.
Right.
Keep his range wide and see what happens.
Okay, I'm sticking.
Let's try it.
You read it? I think you did.
So I gave folding a score of 0, calling a score of 10, and raised to 18,500 a score of 1. I think folding would just be pretty bad. We have a great hand. We're at the top of our range here. It's such a perfect flop for us. I don't think he's got too many 3s in his range, because I can't really imagine he would flat too many 3s from the small blind, especially versus an under the gun open. I mean, maybe he has a hand like ace-3 suited, but that really should be it. And I have this guy labeled as an unknown. So oftentimes, I'll see like a lot of recreational players spaz out in spots like this, where I think they just think, oh, this person is c-betting this board 100% of the time, so I'm just going to check raise them and put them in a tough spot and see what happens. So he could have complete error. He could have a hand like a hand with an 8 or pocket 7s or some kind of other pair that he is trying to take down now with a check raise, because those types of hands are vulnerable to overcards falling on the turn and river. So he could just be trying to take it down now. So I think I definitely like a call. That's why I gave that a score of 10. Raising to 18,500 I think is bad. I think it is going to just get him to fold all of his bluffs. So if we do flat, he might barrel the turn. And, you know, if he does have air, he's probably going to barrel the turn. Or if not, he's, you know, maybe check raising here thinking that he has the best hand. Maybe he has a good pair like pocket 10s or something. So folding is bad, calling is good. That's what we decided to do. So we call. The turn is the ace of diamonds, and now he checks. So what should we do? Should we check, bet 11,000, or go all in?
Soprano, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. Ashley, I don't have the password. Thank you for the follow, though.
I'm muted. Whoops. Can you hear me now, buddy? I'm sorry. Oops.
Damn that 15%.
All right, good. I'm sorry. I can hear you now. I got distracted. My kids were fighting upstairs or something, and it sounds like a war zone. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It sounds crazy, dude. Yikes. All right. So yeah, the ace on the turn. We start asking ourselves, how many streets of value do we have here? We got one more street. We see if we can bet twice. Where do we get our street of value from? Do we bet? We check. What do you guys like in this spot?
Guys, get out there. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check.
Check behind for pot control. I say check because if he does have a pocket pair, we aren't getting two streets. So we're getting better to call and worse to fold. I think check back is the play here for the pot control. D Virgo says check. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to run upstairs. I think these cats are battling.
Oh, time to tie him off to a tree or something.
Yeah. I bet 11K here. Ooh, we have one bet and a bunch of checks.
So it says check fold. Well, we check and then we see river. We're not folding yet. Sharaba is betting 11K and then folding to a raise, I imagine. Sharaba. Quiz volume is low. There's nothing I can do about. I have it pumped up all the way. I had my mic turned down as a test to see if that would help with the quiz volumes, but there's nothing we can control about that. It's blasted all the way up.
Same here, man. It sucks. My stuff is so loud on my end as well, and I don't know what to do about it. If you bet here and he jams, you are in a tough spot with maybe the best hand. Don't like the bet. So what it sounds like we're getting to from a few players is our hand is now a bluff catcher. Is what it sounds like. It sounds like we need to just be pot controlling, and by pot control, I hear bluff catch.
I 100% agree. Like if he's got an ace, he's going to check here a lot to get the showdown, especially a weaker one. And I don't want to bet in value time myself. We kind of have a made marginal hand now. Pokemon says, overbet the turn. What's the point of that? We're turning kings into a bluff at that point, right? Which means we're trying to get better to fold. And I don't know what's better that's folding, no matter what the price, right? And if he doesn't have an ace and he's got something else, anything else, there's no reason to overbet, right? Because we're winning the hand right now, right? Call river. I think that's probably going to be the line, Soprano.
Yeah, it sounds like that man wanted to turn one of the best bluff catchers into a bluff in a spot like this, and yeah, I don't know why I'm not overbetting. It's purely turning it into a bluff, but. Yeah, I do think we just check here and reevaluate, go to the rivers and see what happens. Let's see if Lexi wants to bet 11K, though. I guess there is some merit to betting now and checking rivers back, but I would be more on team check for me. All right, let's do it.
Cool. Minimum with Lucky for the follow, and let's check.
And let's check. All right.
So I gave checking a score of 10 points, betting 11,000 a score of 0 points, and going all in a score of 0 points. I think checking is by far the best option. It allows us to pot control and comfortably call a river bet. There really are no river cards that I plan on folding here unless he chooses a ridiculous sizing like 2x pot or all in or something. So I do, yeah. So I think checking is great. If he checks and we bet and he raises, it's gonna be a pretty annoying spot for us. If we do decide to bet, always have a defense strategy against potential check raises if you do decide to bet. So like I said, checking, I gave score 10 points, betting 11,000. I don't like. I think this sizing is a little too big, and going all in is unnecessary. It would be an unnecessary shove for 42 big blinds effective. So he checks, and we check back, and the river is a 4 of diamonds. He checks. So what should we do? Should we check, bet 8,500, or go all in?
Do we get greedy? Who out there is getting greedy? Who wants to go for a thin value bet? Bet 8.5K here. Someone
says thin value from an 8. Martin says check. Joe's betting 8,500.
Yeah, we got some 8.5Ks. I'm greedy, and then I'm inclined to check. So yeah. What a spot, right?
This is an interesting spot because these are, I think in my game, I don't get enough thin value in general.
I do think there's a decent argument that if we bet 8,500, we're getting called by all the pairs between 8 and ace.
Right.
Could also
But
be
you
a
know,
simple play 9s plus. I think it's probably only 9s, 10s, and
uh,
jacks. Everything else probably 3 bets is pre-soprano. We bet and they jam. What do? You fold. Check
and you know it's sick as well. This player can just just has more threes and as many pocket eights as played, probably more. Maybe not because we could check back some turns.
I don't
We
think
have
3 is check river. 3x is going to bet river to try and get value before because we check back a lot, right?
Oh man, yeah. I really want to bet. You know me. I tend to bet these spots a lot more than.
I mean, I always check this in game, but can definitely see the argument for 8,500.
Right.
Because they check twice. They have a lot more 8x, 9s, 10s, and jacks than they have, aces. There's more combos, I guess. Right? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Because they flatted from the small blind, so it's like, I guess, every suited ace, maybe, for the most
Ace
part.
five suited. Yeah, I mean, you can still just continue with suited heart, suited club aces, and suited spade aces for backdoors. But he actually check raised. He didn't float, so that makes it interesting.
I have 2 checks. 1, 2, 3 8,500s.
You got 3 8,500s.
And
I
2
have.
checks. 3 checks.
Yeah, we got
We're tied.
check. For play to value depends. Check. We got more checks. Looks like we got 4 or 5 checks and a couple bets.
Ooh, the 8,500 is coming in. Actually, it's the same people fighting for 8,500. So yeah, I mean, a lot of 800s. Thin value has. I missed what Gab said. I lost it.
If you're in to get bet more.
Gab said making more thin value bets and 10 to fold has really helped my results. I definitely miss thin value spots in general. So I can see the argument for 8,500 here and then folding for sure.
Oh man, but we can just bet fold. It's not the end of the world. It's like players aren't really capable of check raising some unknown. You think an unknown's going to get nasty and just check raise you in this spot? It's not
a
chin
spot
weight.
because we still have a lot of aces in our range, right? And I don't think we get check raise here very often at all. There should be no 3s out there.
Like literally just ace 3 or something like that. Decided to slow play turn and then.
But even ace 3 should be
check.
betting.
Yeah,
river, right?
I mean, I'm on team 8.5K. I don't know. I mean, I like to just try to find value in these spots, and he checked turn and river after check raising. Yeah, I think we can go for some thin value, and it's not the end of the world for our stack if we do lose we still have a very deep stack, so I'm still betting. I'm betting.
Yeah, I would check again, but everyone in my chat's betting 8,500, so I'm thinking about going with the army.
Yeah, I'm going with Fallon says bet it. Oh, we're going with Fallon. Fallon's in the house saying bet it. Shit, if nitty ass Fallon's betting it, we got to bet. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. He can't raise this without the nuts. We have the stringer aces. All right, let's do it. We're betting. Let's try it.
All right, let's find out.
So I gave checking a score of 6 points, betting 8,500 a score of 10 points, and going all in a score of 0 points. Checking is okay. I do believe us to have the best hand because the turn and the river did go check check. Now he could take that line with an ace-x type of hand, but remember that he would have to have check raise the flop with an ace-x combination and check turn and check river. So I was trying to think what ace-x combinations he could have that he would be check raising the flop with and then not going for value on the river. So ace king we block so heavily, so I don't believe he has that. Plus, I think that there's a chance he would 3-bet that pre-flop. Ace queen, he would probably go for river for value on the river, so I don't think he has ace queen. Ace jack, ace 10, I guess he could have, but any ace below that, I really don't think he's flatting from the small blind versus an under the gun open. And I don't think he's check raising his ace-x combinations on the flop. Like I said, I do believe he would do that. He's more likely to do that with either complete air or a hand like pocket sevens or something, or a hand that he is afraid that he could get outdrawn on the turn, like he would be afraid of overcards on the turn. So I do. That's why I gave betting 8,500 a score of 10 points. Like I said, I do think that there's a lot of value that we'd be missing if we didn't bet here. So I think we could get value from hands like pocket nines to pocket queens. He definitely doesn't have a three because there's no way he's checking turn and river with a three. He definitely doesn't have eights full because, again, he's not checking turn and river. So yeah, I really do think that we have the best hand. I think 8,500 is a great sizing. Going all in, he's definitely not going to be calling those pair hands that I was naming. So he either has an ace, but I don't think so. So yeah, I do think that we would just be missing too much value, and I do think we have the best hands. So we do decide to go 8,500. He makes the call, and he has 8-7, which is kind of strange. I was a little surprised to see he was flatting that from the small blind. Yeah, my recommendation to all of you is definitely don't flat the small blind with 7-8 offsuit, especially against an under the gun open. It's a fold in a lot of situations, as is. So, all right, well, that was my quiz. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little something, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.
I love this. My recommendation to you is, don't do this.
I got. All right, in the unmute.
I
There we
love
go.
it. Yeah, my recommendation to all of you is don't do this with 7-8 off.
This is not a 1-2 cash game where you can just complete. Like, I don't know what this dude is doing. That's funny.
Completing from the small line with this hand's pretty bad.
I mean,
Pretty bad. Especially against a good player who has got position on you. Like,
I thought you said completing like as in a limp pot or something. But no, versus the raise. This is super bad.
Calling the raise with 7-8 off in the small blind against a good player who's got position on you is pretty bad.
Yep. Perfect score, them 40s, baby.
Swished one.
Let's go.
Right out the gate. So I'm a fan of her quizzes since we're swishing.
Right. All right, let's do this. So what are we looking at now? I guess it's my turn. Anybody in chat see anything? Anything catch your eye? Maybe we should let these guys pick one, but there's a lot of voices out there. I'm looking.
China's 31. Thank you for the follow.
How about this 6-5 of clubs from Matt Affleck versus a weak tight?
655?
Yeah.
Cool.
How many times have you played with Matt Affleck? I mean, he's got you labeled here. Come on. Weak tight.
I played with Matt Affleck?
Yeah, weak tight player. That's you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a funny question because I play with him all the time. He's all over WSOP.com. I play with him almost every session.
That's awesome. That's cool to hear.
Yeah, except the motherfucker keeps 3-betting, 4-betting me, and rejamming on me. You dirty rat.
All right, we do got a couple requests in my chat. Fallon wants to see a 1K live, and then some low stakes options. The only low stakes options we're gonna see here are like the 1-2, 1-3 cash games. I guess this live 265 would be equivalent to something like a $10 MTT online, and then Alex plays some of the smaller stuff. And then, we can look at this live 1K as well at some point, because I love Jonathan quizzes.
And the most recent low stakes one are all going to be Assassinato. He went on a kick where he did like $10 tournaments, $5 tournaments.
Right.
Soprano says, anything we can do with an overbet? I don't know which quizzes have the overbet option. That's probably going to be a Jared Jaffe quiz, which I don't think are here yet. But
good luck to Jared Jaffe. He's at the final table right now of the 5 diamond. Yeah, let's go. Another coach for Pokercoaching. All right, let's play the 5-6 suited. Oh shit, I lost a number. What number was it?
655.
Yeah, we'll jump into a few of those as well, those request guys. But yeah, let's check this one out right now. All right, I clicked it.
All right. Later in the tournament now, we have 6 5 of clubs on the button. Under the gun makes it 5,000. Cutoff calls. Should we fold, call, raise to 15,000 or raise to 20,000?
All right, no context. Just what are we doing with this hand? What do you got?
On the button, facing some action.
On the button, facing some action. What are you doing, boys? All right, so we got calls. So I got one thing to say. We wouldn't be probably having this quiz if we chose one of these options. So win one
We've
day.
been tricked before.
That is true. We have been. And say like you should absolutely fold this, but I made a mistake and played it,
Right.
and then gave it a worse score. So hopefully I'm debating some of you guys.
Got a few calls here. Could also fold. I actually think I fold this in game personally. I just pass on these spots because the stakes we play, $100 and less online. Like these guys are going to give me the chips. And I guess
I'm
it's
never
easier.
folding this.
This is definitely a playable hand in this spot as well.
Now this isn't 5x. This is 2.5x. Blinds are 1K, 2K, and he goes 5K, and he's a weak tight, and then another weaker unknown. I mean, I don't think I can ever fold this on the button. We just throw in 2 bigs. We get to play in a position. Yeah, I think it's a perfect hand to call with. I don't think we want to squeeze, in my opinion.
Sure, everyone wants to go 15K. Fold this, but I don't play 600 live. So 600 live is a lot like a $20 and under tournament online. To be honest, don't be fooled. One of the craziest tables I've ever been to in my life was the 600 Deep Stacks World Series event this summer. Every pot was 4-bet, 5-bet, all ins, and they were showing hands like 6-3 suited and things. So.
Yeah, I've had those tables, and they're always in that under 1K range, $200 to $500. People don't give a fuck.
No, they go crazy.
Ooh, fold is not bad either. I don't think a fold is terrible, but this is too good of a spot versus weak players to be folding something like this on the button, in my opinion.
Yeah, so he does say that there are weaker unknowns and weak tights, and so that would be more likely to try and get in pots of them. I could see it. I don't think folding is by far a mistake.
I'm never.
But, yeah, I guess I would tend to call. No argument for raising 15K like Sharaba wants, right? And trying to get heads up with somebody.
No, I mean, I'm never doing that. I'm not going to punt the value of a hand with no blockers to a weak tight under the gun. I mean, we should just not be raising and then folding a hand with this much equity with no blockers. Yeah, just fucking throw in 2 bigs and then just like, 2.5 bigs and just battle. With the hand, we miss completely, we whip, we throw the shit away, and if we flop some equity, we're likely going to have a hand that can crack big hands. So, let's call.
All right, I guess there it is. More calls than anything else in my chat too, so we'll do that too as well.
All right, let's see if Matt proves me wrong. Oops, I'm muted. All right.
I think this is a pretty clear call. We're playing 50 big blinds.
Hey, Maniac, what's up? What's up?
Don't become good 3-bet candidates because they're not going to flop many top pairs at a low SPR. So I'd rather 3-bet a hand like Ace-Jack offsuit here than 6-5 suited. That being said, we have a very clear call here on the button, multi-way. Which we do, and the flop becomes Ace 9 7 2 clubs, and under the gun bets 10,000. Should we fold, call, raise to 25,000, or raise to 35,000?
Me happy about this flop.
Me like you.
Me like
Phoenix says, I think raising is the worst option. I think calling is good in folding. I think fold versus decent players. You're more inclined to call heads up, but I don't hate calling here. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we know they're weak and you're as good as Matt, then holy flop, says Boogaloo.
So we got Brandon and Fallon saying call. We aren't getting folds by raising. Although we have 6 high, we should probably just raise and get jammed or we're never happy. But yeah, we're seeing nothing but calls. He's tight. He has an ace. A lot. Yep. betting into
He's
two
calling.
people as well. People are making some compelling cases. I love it.
Joe says, I would call, but he may raise with the equity is flopped. So he's only probably raising with a big ace or sets and two pairs, right? Gab is calling. I would lean call. For me, my general rule of thumb is if I can get it all in by the turn on draws like this, then I'm going to do that. And if I can't, then I'm generally going to try and realize. So I'm kind of in camp call myself. If there is some argument with the fact that this has no showdown value at all.
Yeah, but we're in position deep.
True.
I mean, if we call here, we'll have 44 bigs. I mean, we get nasty with 44 bigs. No reason to raise with that many outs. Take him to value town if you hit. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't see any value in raising.
I think we kind of have too many chips to raise, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if we're we're going to raise the 30K, he calls, we break, and then
or even
I guess
worse,
we would
like
be
I
in
raise
position.
30K and he jams.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're never folding. Like,
I know, but it's not good. Like,
no, you're not happy. You're not going to be like way ahead or anything, but you're not going to be way behind either. All right, let's call and see what happens.
Go.
I really like calling here. We have a tighter opponent that's bet pretty large into three players on a very tight board. So when we raise, I think we just ended up getting it in like as a slight underdog against like sets and ace king and ace queen and stuff. So we're in position, and our draw is we never really have to fold the turn. And I'd rather just play the hand post flop, rather just get it in on the flop here. That being said, I mean, you can raise to 35,000 and call it off, but I think calling and realizing your position advantage is a much more valuable option. We do call, and the turn is the 8 of clubs, and our opponent checks. Should we check, bet 15,000, bet 25,000, or bet 35,000?
Ooh, what do we like? We don't hit the 8 of hearts, but we hit the 8.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Open into straight flush draw. I think I know what I'm doing here.
I know what I'm doing here too. Cyrus does exclamation nuts in my chat. Machina says 15K. Cyrus going 25. 8 or clubs, not 8 of clubs. We'll take the 8 of clubs. 8 of clubs is good.
Definitely bad, but I'm not sure about the size. Somebody says 25K. Somebody says check. Woo! You've been in this stream before, BQ. What do we talk about here all the time?
Exclamation point nuts.
Yeah. I like going small. I'm still lit. This stuff's still coming in. We got a bunch of 15Ks.
It says bet in case he has a higher club. Yeah, I mean, bet because we want to get value from a club X hand and from an ace, right? And things of that nature. Yeah, always bet. Always bet.
Doing Dab says
25K. We just shove river, they say.
What are you doing here?
I know the nuts. No, but I mean, we block clubs. It's pretty hard. If he's got king, queen of clubs, we're gonna go broke at some point. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just, you know, we're not like it's not like we're gonna raise this king, queen of clubs is gonna, come over the top and jam. We're gonna fold a flush.
It's never happened. Yeah, we put in that many chips with the flush. Yeah. I mean, they can have top set in their range and just be frustrated, or we're not folding if we do that.
So I think 15K is too small. I think we can get a lot more value from the king of clubs, a 10x hand, and an ace. So I think 15K is out for me. So now it's 25 or 35. I probably would go somewhere in between that, to be honest with you. So I guess I'm leaning 25 myself.
I'm just instantly at the 25. Yeah, I was always like 25K just feels perfect. What that allows is hands like ace 10 with the 10 of clubs, or ace king or ace queen, or ace jack with a club. All those hands are going to continue for sure for 25K. And I think we should be targeting that portion of his range, or maybe a stubborn ace king without a club that just wants to call one more, I'm definitely going 25 here, and what it allows is like he might feel more committed to call it off on clean rivers if this stack the pot is smaller. So if we go 15, it's going to be exactly one because he's going to have 70K behind. There's going to be 70K in the pot. We put 30 more in, but if we go bigger than that, I think they feel more compelled to call off sometimes when the stacked pot is shallower, and we get more value.
Oh God, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's cool.
Oh, Maniac says that's why we go big on the turn with 35K. He's liking calls with Ace King with the King of Clubs, but won't call on the river, so we get more value on the turn. The problem is you're only putting out on Ace King with the King of Clubs. Like we want to get called by all the Ace X hands, all the Bear Club X hands, and 10X, right? So we got to find that balance, and a lot of those are going to fall for 35. Honestly, in game, man, I would probably go something like 27 or 30.
Yeah.
I would go somewhere in between for that reason, but. Yeah, so 25K I guess is the only option.
I'd honestly probably go like 23.5 or somewhere probably because I would go slightly smaller but still big enough to set up a SPR on the river where we're jamming less in the pot for him. But yeah, I'm gonna go with 25 guys. I know we're getting a lot of 15s. I'm very interested in see if he likes
the river's a club. Likely.
So he's just gonna have Ace King, Ace Queen with a club, Ace Jack with a club. Hands like that a lot, especially if he jams into you after you go 25K and the club comes, like, sheesh.
Yeah. Maniac, I would use the same bet size as well. Cool. I guess we're going 25K. Let's see what happens.
Let's try it.
I really like a small bet here, and people will be, oh, we have a flush, we should bet big, but this turn card just smashes our range. We are going to have two pairs, straights, flushes. We're going to have sets that we didn't raise on the flop. Like, this is just like, if we bet large, like ace king, ace queen should be folding. I don't know if they are going to be folding, but this is just such a great turn card for our range. And when you have a huge equity advantage, you should be betting small and pushing your equity hands range with like your whole range, basically. So I like betting 15,000. You can bet 25,000 if you think your opponent's going to be too call happy, but I do bet 15,000, and our opponent calls, and the river is the 7 of diamonds. Should we check, bet 20,000, or go all in?
Worked. I feel sick. Nice job, all the 15K peeps in the chat. I see you, man. Good job.
I actually disagree.
I mean, in the games we play in, the things we see.
This 600 win I play in, like, I disagree.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would just say a lot of the guys we play against are not gonna just be folding a lot of ace king, ace queen here for one bet. And in the smaller games, I think we can still get value, and more value is better, in my opinion. But
I agree.
In this situation versus a weak type, it's opponent specific as well, So, hey, J Magic, thank you for that follow, buddy. I agree, 15K is the best. You're just trying to needle me. Why you got to come in here and do that to me? Come on, son. What's up with you, man? How you doing, buddy? All right.
If you're in the Reaper, please no boat or quads. I mean, YOLO.
What do you guys like about this river? What do you guys think about the river size?
It's probably a shoving river.
But in deeper games, you got to go higher. Can someone would call with a flush draw with one card flush? Yep. What are you guys thinking here? We don't have the nuts now. Do we have a strong hand? So we should go at least 50%. 50%, putting in half our stack, and then what? I would puke if I bet and he check shoved on me. It would be kind of gross.
So I was saying 20K for thin value. Gab putting 20K out there. Boogaloo putting 20K out there. Toes putting 20K out there. Maniac's going 20K. Fold if he shoves. Joe's going. Everyone's going
20K. All right. I know. I think I'm just gonna go 20K here. It feels like we're costing ourselves value by checking, shoving maybe a little excessive. We only condense his range to strong hands that can call, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we go all in, like Ace X is a real hard time calling now with 3 flush and paired board, right? And the fucking Jack 10 got there too. Marlins jamming. He didn't care, even though I said all that. But yeah, so 20K. Because I think we get an ace to fold if we jam on a board this way.
Yeah, I mean, he did just check call and then check back to us on the river. I think I really just want to go 20K here with the flush. Then make decisions. We have a lot of very strong hands in our range and position. So when he check shoves, like, what would he be turning into a bluff?
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think he can find some calls with ace king, ace queen here as well. He's never folding that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be inclined to bet.
And you could bet if they've got an ace with a club, right? Because they're going to say, "Oh, I blocked the flush a little bit." You're more likely to call.
Yeah, I think so. If he a weak tight check shoves on you, he would almost always have it. Yeah, agreed. Doing dabs, fantastic balances, bet
If I
fold.
king 10 here with the king clubs, would I bet
20K? Yeah, weak tight player check shoving you on the river. Yikes.
Honestly, if you want to talk about overbets, I may even jam it if I had king 10 with the king of clubs, because I blocked the straight, I blocked the clubs, and the ace can't call. So I might even overjam in that case.
Yeah.
Kick off with jam. You'll call the jam an ace good kicker. I mean, that's it though, right? And even then, like, what are you betting turn, betting river with? You know what I mean? Like, oof, pretty tough.
Yeah. I'm thinking 20K is the bet. I can't see tracking a hand this strong.
And I can't see jamming either.
Yeah, exactly. So that only leaves this option. So let's see what Matt thinks about it. Let's do it, guys.
Maniac says, I don't think he checks on the turn in any part of his range that he's willing to call or jam with on the river. 100% agree. Well said. All right, let's do 20K.
Yep.
Similar concept to the flop, to the turn. Now all our 9-7s, 8-7s, 9s, 8s. We make a lot of full houses. We have straights, we have flushes. We're not betting any single pairs. So it's hard to find a lot of hands that he can call with to the all-in. And I think we bet all-in, we just make his life way too easy with ace-king. But if we bet 20,000, like, we make his life pretty tough with ace-king now. So I really like betting 20,000. And against this particular player, I'm bet folding my flush. I think he only really shows with full houses or better flushes. So, yeah, I think we should be betting like 20 and trying to squeak a little value out of this flush. Not because our hand is only worth 20,000, but our opponent's range is pretty weak. And we bet 20, and he folds, and we take down the pot.
Easy peasy.
Good job. Well played. A lot of people out there said 15K for that turn bet. I see you out there.
You're missing value.
But in the context of the quizzes today, they've won the battle. Well done. All right. Someone had a request. Maybe a low stakes one would be good. So the question there, should we do a low stakes live or a low stakes online tournament?
I think the only low stakes online are Assassinato, and we have so many volume issues with him.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go through it. It's 100% of the time we try his videos.
It's not him as a coach. It's the volume issues.
Right. But he's the only one that has
$10
online.
tournaments. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, nobody else is really playing that, making content on that online yet.
The only other option would be a Matt Affleck or Jonathan Little, like $1,600 or $1,000 live tournament.
Well, we haven't done a Jay Little video today, so we got to do a Jonathan video for sure.
Okay, let's go back up. 2K live, 1K live. The Jack 10 on 669.
669. Let's do it. I don't even know what the quiz is. I like it. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. 83 bigs, Jack 10. Oh.
Jack 10 offsuit on the button. Everyone folds to me, playing 150-300 with an ante. Should we fold, call, raise to 800, or raise to 1,200?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. We just want to click 800 and go on with our lives.
Yeah, no debate here, really. I mean, nobody, I mean, maybe a very few of you guys are going to go 12 or something like that. We might even have people here with the mind of limping. But I think overall, having a raising strategy is just going to be ideal this deep.
Yeah, 800 is
So,
already streaming through my
and this
tab.
is yeah, 800s or, yeah, same here. So we're just going to, somebody said 649. The online side. All right, let's do it. 800 it is.
This is a nice spot to make your standard raise. I'm not doing any button limping unless I'm relatively short stacked. In general, whenever you're playing something like 35 big blinds or more, you probably just don't want to be doing a whole lot of open limping ever. If there is a spot to open limp, it's usually with a medium to short stack on the button, just so you don't raise and then get re-raised and have to fold. Like right here, if I raise and get re-raised, it's a pretty rough spot, right? And as you get shallower, you'd really just like to see a flop with hands like this, so maybe you start open limping them, but that's not where we are. So we're just going to make a standard raise to about 3 big blinds. Big blind, loose, aggressive player calls. It comes king, 7, 3, and the opponent checks. Should we check, bet 800, bet 1600, or bet 2400?
Here we go. The spot you're going to find yourself in poker, a shitload.
Yep.
You opening garbage and getting called by a wide range on a dry-ass board. What do you do?
We already have some controversy. Cyrus and Maniac are checking, and Cell and Soprano are betting 800. I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing as well. And right now I'm seeing C-bet range 800. Dr. HJ. BQ says 16. Interesting. Poker SNCO says 16 as well.
Why?
Some people just trying to go shut the shit down. He says, I'm going to, because he's going to represent a king. That's what he says.
You would bet 1600 with a king here? Sixes?
I didn't say that. That's what he said. I didn't say that.
Don't put this shit on me.
You know, my name is Pit 9 in this shit.
I'm the middleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 1600 to me doesn't, and bigger, doesn't seem to serve much of a purpose, right? Like, he's got a king or he doesn't, and so we'll find out for cheaper than that. And all that, but like Machine Gun says, dry-ass board, bet small. Like, this is dry-ass board. You know, like, I would bet closer to 1600 if this was like a king-queen. If I had ace-king on a king-queen 3 board with 2 spades or something, and it's wet as hell, then yeah, I would definitely size that. Everyone in my chat saying easy 800, 800. Yeah, we could easily bet 800 and try and shut down the flop if we get called. We reroll turn. Yes, agreed.
Does the opponent type in this situation change your size? So if it's a more sticky player, are you going to use a bigger sizing, or are you just going to tone down your c-bet frequency, I should say?
I am definitely going to c-bet when I have range and position advantage, and I'm going to keep it small because on the times he 3-bets me, you know, I can get away cheaper, and on the time it's value, I mean, I'm just going to get more value. Doesn't matter.
Fallon thinks he's lagged, so it's 1600. So we want to go bigger versus a lag opponent to disincentivize his check raises and make his check raises larger. That's actually a reasonable. When ranges are wider, maybe bet sizes should be a little bit bigger versus these type of opponents, just so that we can get more folds. But I don't know. I mean, I'm typically going to go 800 here, but I'm just playing devil's advocate and maybe, you know, trying to forecast a different way to play the hand.
Someone says, check less against players who play back a lot. Yeah, the problem here is, like, when we check, we're basically just check giving up. And if you check to me on this board, I'm betting turn and betting river. I don't need cards. You know what I mean? Because you just never have a king. You know, so I'm going to close my eyes and bet turn, bet river, no matter what. So I don't want to open the door for being bluffed. So I'm definitely going to bet here and then evaluate turns.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to use a small bet, but I could, you know, mentally I could find a case for going 16 versus some opponents, but I'm thinking we're just going to bet small in this spot. And someone's saying Pio might say overbet flop here. Woo! That would be nasty. I haven't seen, we play with Pio quite often. I don't see too many overbet flop lines too often.
Agree. Maniac says, yeah, but if we check the turn and the turn is a queen or 9, we continue the river. Agreed, but that's pretty slim, right? We're talking about 8 outs. Like, that's pretty slim. So like I'm not banking on that. But if I bet small here and get called and pick up the gun on the turn, he's gonna check to me a lot, and then I bought the river and I get to realize my equity.
I'm so curious now. I'm gonna just I'm going 800 as I would just to not deviate, and then we're gonna learn something if Jonathan says you want to go 1600 here versus this opponent on such a dry board with wide ranges, So
Yeah, I mean the one thing I'll give Fallon some credit, like it was actually a nice, well thought, valid reason for going. I'm still not going 1600, but yeah, I definitely can understand the reasoning. There's good logic there for sure.
yeah, I mean maybe it is 16, but let's see if we want to go bigger for our one and done since our barrel range is kind of condensed as well on the cards we can really barrel. Well, we have an queen, an ace, a nine. Yeah, queen, ace, nine. That's not too bad. All right, let's do it.
Maybe an 8. All right, cool.
Maybe an 8, yeah, maybe. All right, let's do it.
This board is pretty uncoordinated. I realize I have not a whole lot going for me, so this is a spot where checking may seem reasonable, but the opponent's going to miss this board a huge portion of the time. And also notice there are some cards I can get on the turn that will give me additional equity that will allow me to continue bluffing some portion of the time. So this is a spot where I think we just want to go ahead and bet, and we'll be betting small with our whole range, or the vast majority of our range in this spot. So I like a bet of 800. If we were betting less frequently, we could go for a bigger bet size, but given we're betting pretty much every time, I think a small bet of 800 is nice. I bet loose aggressive player calls. Whenever you do bet small, by the way, your opponent will call a lot, so plan ahead. Turn is the 8. So now I have a gut shot. Should we check, bet 1,000, bet 2,000, or bet 3,000?
All right.
Well, we asked for an 8 and we got one.
Yeah, we don't really have too much showdown value right now with Jack High, but we do pick up a gut shot, and we still have 2 overs to the 7 and 3. What do you got? Ooh, a lot of 2Ks coming in.
I got a 1K from Cyrus. What are you guys doing here? Are you continuing
2K,
here?
2K,
3650
2K.
out there. 1K, 2K, or 3K. Boogaloo says versus an aggressive player, and he had a king. He would bet 1600. I asked him about the kicker, and he said yes, just versus an aggressive player. I would say that we need to have some king X hands that we check back for balance. So with your shittier kickers, I would be checking, and then with your better kickers, I would be betting. Mostly because with my shitty kickers, there's better kings out there, and with my good kickers, I want to get value from shittier kings. Minnick says, what is it called with on the flop? We could probably get 7x to fold with a decent sized turn bet. And we aren't drawing either, so I like going 2K. There are no king X that we bet 1K with here, I guess. Agreed, Soprano.
I mean, there are just a number of hands he can continue with. All of his ace highs could just call without a pair. Any kind of 3x hand, 7x hand, 5-6. Might check raise, but he could just call with the gut shot as well if he's like that, and then just decide to make plays of rivers if we check turns. But yeah, we just are not trying to show this shit down, and we don't have enough equity to just try to realize, so I'm betting 2K.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Maniac here. Boogaloo says, if we bet 1600, we make a 3-fold, but not if we bet 800. Agreed. But when I bet my 2K here, the 3 folds, the 7 folds, and I get a little value, and all the hands Maniacs, this thing, pocket 5s, pocket 6s, pocket 4s, pocket 2s, all those things. So yeah, I would bet 2K. We got Jack High. We got to bluff it.
Yeah, and I think 3K doesn't accomplish as much. I mean, does 3K accomplish more than 2K does?
No.
But it accomplishes more than 1K does.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I bet 2K. So yeah, let's bet 2K and see if we're on the right track to making this lag fold.
Not cool.
Pretty much anytime you turn additional equity, you usually want to keep bluffing when you have no showdown value. And right here, we just have no showdown value. So given we have no showdown value, I think we need to keep betting. And now we want to make a bet size that can potentially get our opponent off of hands, maybe a 7 and worse. And I think that's going to be a bet of about 2,000. As you start going bigger and bigger, you don't really make many more hands fold. Because imagine we bet 3,000 here. Our opponent's not folding a king for any bet size. I mean, maybe a 3,000 bet will get your opponent to fold the 7 every time, whereas maybe if you bet 2,000, it doesn't. But this is a spot where I'm betting the turn, looking to bluff pretty much every river. I mean, this is one of the worst hands I could have at this point. I mean, obviously I could have 5-6, well, 6-5, 6-4, and 5-4 that would also like to bluff. So we're starting to run into a pretty good number of bluffs. 10-9 as well. So you have to be careful to not be bluffing too incredibly often, but I'm not opening like 5-4 offsuit on the button, right? So I only have the 4 suited combinations of each of those. So yeah, we may be bluffing a little bit too much in this scenario, but I'm a pretty big fan of bluffing. So I bet 2,000, and now the opponent raises to 7,000. Should we fold, call, or go all in?
Not fun. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, what?
Yeah, this blows.
Tyrus is folding. Soprano's folding. Jack 10. Maniac's folding. He's not that maniacal. Cav's folding. Toe's folding.
Toes folding. Fold, boo. We have all folds in here in the chat right now.
We're off.
He says we're all fold. Yeah, I mean, easy fold, everyone says. Our equity isn't high enough to call here. And we're going to be facing a river bet a lot, and it's just the jack high. Yeah, it's probably trying to just give it up. Can make some 2-pair hands. 7-8 makes 2-pair. Just ugh.
Soprano says, I mean, unless you know the guy is doing crazy moves, you have to fold. I'd say even if you know the guy is doing crazy moves, you have jack high, you have to fold. If he's doing crazy moves, we'll find him. We'll get him to slip up at some point later when we don't have jack high in a dream.
Yeah, guys, I don't see anyone out there calling this. Anybody out here shoving like a boss and just going fucking ape shit. Anybody out there doing it. You can be honest. Now's your time to chat pro. Now is the time.
My stream's going crazy. Fold.
Yeah, everybody's folding in mine as well. So let's just fold and see if Jonathan's like, you call here because he's bluffing a lot and you just wreck him on the river if he ever checks.
Soprano says, all in like a boss.
And then shove and get snapped off by 7-8.
All right, go. Folding.
Yep.
Well, now we're just in awful shape, so we have to fold. I know some of you may look at this and think, oh, this must be a trick question. We should go all in. But no. We have no hand, no equity, a bad draw, and we lose to everything. So, I mean, obviously our opponent could just be check raising with something like 6-5 of clubs that may raise and then call it off, or maybe raise and then fold, but that's going to happen so infrequently. Usually the opponent's just going to have a good hand that they think they need to be raising. Obviously, the opponent could just be really deciding to get us and just decided to check raise us with ace-queen for fun or whatever he has. And that does happen every once in a while. The problem, though, is that I just have a hand that has literally no equity. You'd much rather have some equity whenever you do jam and get called. Like if I had a flush draw here, I'd probably be all in. If I had 10-9 in this scenario, I may actually be all in. But Jack 10, no draw or no flush draw is just not good enough. So we fold. Move on with our lives. Obviously, we're not getting great odds to call, so we can't call and try to get there on the river, or have our opponent check the river and then have us bluff, because for all we know, the opponent may just be raising a hand like king queen, looking to check river and then call if we bluff. So this is not a great spot anymore. We just have to get out of the way.
And there you have
it. On the flop. I mean, we certainly can dent his range, but it's about being balanced in that spot. And we're going to want to bet small to, get him to call worse hands when we have value. And our small bet only needs to work so often, like 30% of the time or whatever, when we make it. To just, and he has to defend accordingly, in which people don't. So.
Yeah, we're killing it today. That was 2 swishes and one where we got a 6-pointer that I have an asterisk because I disagree. So I'm going to say 3 swishes today, which means you and I need to load up after this. What are we doing?
We got to load up. Yeah, I know, right? I got to play tonight. Like, babe, I'm sorry. I know we got a Christmas party tonight, but...
What's better Christmas present than a big bankroll and more money?
No, there really isn't one, to be honest with you. That's the dream. All right, someone said 649. I remember that.
49.
We may have already. Oh, we have not
What's a
done.
$5 Assassinato?
Okay, all right. Here's the thing, guys. If the volume is too low, we might have to punt it. I don't know what to say. If it's another volume issue, we'll have to punt it.
That, or we can make a site's a feedback post and ask for subtitles.
That's a very good idea. So you guys can read it on screen or something. So yeah, because I mean we've had extreme volume issues for both of us, and there's nothing in our system we can do to make it louder. So.
Spinal says, how much does it cost to get access to these vids? Exclamation point PC in my chat, exclamation point PC in Six's chat. You will get a link that will take you to the site. There are free options. So if you are enjoying this, one, we do this every Saturday at noon Eastern. I also record these. If you missed any of them in the past or missed part of today's and you're enjoying it so much, you can go to my YouTube channel and check out every single study stream we've ever done. They are all up there for you to review. Go there, watch them, get better, have a good time. For the PC link in the chat there, you get 25 free quizzes, free homeworks, push-pull charts, a bunch of other charts, all that to you 100% free. So make sure you do that. And if you're so inclined to sign up for the premium, there's almost 700 quizzes. Homeworks up the wazoo, charts, more charts than you can possibly handle. There is a crap load of content for you under the premium option. So check that out.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. I mean, for free as well. You get 25 of these quizzes for free, and you can do them along with us. And it's just a ton of value for free, and the paid membership, the webinars along with Michael Acevedo, and these guys are just amazing.
Maniac says, how can I get down with some studying with you guys aside from this stream? Would like to join your group. There's a super secret handshake involved in that. Maniac, you can whisper me on the side, buddy.
All right, I'll meet you guys up there.
Up the wazoo.
All right, yeah, let's do the let's try 649, guys. We'll give it a shot for you guys. All right.
We're gonna pump this volume all the way up. So pump your volume up, and remember to pump it down when we start talking again, because we're gonna blast your ears. We've had some issues with these Assassinality quizzes from a volume perspective. 649, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going there now.
All right, let's do it.
Hey everybody, so in this hand you're in a $5 MTT on America's Card Room. You have Queen 10 of Spades in the low jack, and you have 10,000 chips at $25.50. Here, do you want to call, raise to 100, raise to 150, or raise to 175?
How low was it? How bad was the volume? My shit was cranked up, and it felt low to me. So
I had it cranked up, and it was
Yeah. It was somebody said super low. Oh, piss.
Yeah, it's a Assassinality. Basically, we're in a $5 America's Card Room tournament. Every single one in this chat and Six's chat play these all the time. We've all been here a million. Sarah says, my wheelhouse. Exactly.
Yeah. ACR $5 tournament. Almost everybody in this bitch has played it. If you're so at one point or another, we've all played probably one of these. So, what are we doing here? Somebody says 150 right out the gate. We got a couple hundreds. We got to take into consideration if you're trying to get a perfect score. What do you think Alex would do here? I know what you might do here, but what do you think he's going to think is optimal as well?
Savannah says, I always min-raise. Could it be with 3x as well? I agree. I'm on min-raise guy myself, especially in these tournaments. I want to play a lot of pots with these guys at this stake. So, yeah. I in-game with 100% be going 100. I don't think Assassinado is ever going 100. I think he's going 150 or 175. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4 150s. 1, 2, 3, 175. So it's pretty damn close.
Yeah. Oh, I'm probably just thinking 150. Journey says 150. Journey says 150. I'm going 150. What up, Mark? Founder in this bitch. 22 months, my dude. You're getting called 5 ways no matter what you bet. Amy says that's funny. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's just standard 3x here. If he goes 175, 3.25, I don't think that's a mistake. None of these are a mistake in my opinion, depending on what you think of your opponents behind. I'm trying to keep a smaller SPR and play a ton of pots. So I'm going 100.
Eek says 175, 200 bites deep. Had to switch over from. Coming over here. Cool. Gab says Alex is gonna go 3.5. Yeah. I just don't know if you ever need to go over 3. So I guess I'm probably gonna go $1.50 myself. I can see the argument for 175. I'm just already stretching my comfortableness, my comfortability with 150. One of us sounds like get a read on one of them because of the lunch he had. Fair. I love that one, guy. Cyrus. That's funny as hell.
God, I hate the volume is so low on this. I don't know what to do. Let me try this. All right. Let's just try to see. I'm gonna go 150 and see what happens. Oh, you could deviate. Go 100. He might think 100's good.
I don't think I've ever seen any of these guys min-raise this deep.
Nope.
Not any of them ever. Kemp says you got to give us a sec to turn the volume down from 100 when Alex finishes before you go chime in. Fair. So like count to 5 so people can turn their volumes down before we blast their asses.
I did not want to do this quiz just because I knew there was going to be a volume issue. This is so tilting.
I give the people what they want.
Yeah. All right. 150 it is. Let me get through this shit.
Too.
All right.
The way you're going to make the most money with this hand, or with any hand in Null'em and Hold'em, is getting heads up with one guy who's playing too many hands. Then you take that guy to the flop. When he misses, which is going to be most of the time, you're going to pick up 3, 4, 5 big blind pot. If he does hit, he doesn't hit much, and usually if you started with a better hand, you're going to hit a better hand. I know that sounds really dumb, but you know, if you start with superior kickers, you're really likely to make a better hand than his fragile pairs, and then you can just value bet him mercilessly, right? That tends to be the game plan. Now, the only way we could screw that up is if a number of people call us, that's okay, because we have a hand that flops pretty well, but it's not going to make as much money from a highway robbery as just getting heads up would be, right? We're going to have to hit a hand, and I don't know about you, but I've had years in poker where I've not hit a hand, right? So I prefer to get a heads up versus a guy who's folding too much, who has too big of a range. If we get 3-bet, then we're playing defense, and it's really hard to know what to do post-flop. If the guy's 3-betting too much, you can flat a 3-bet, and then you can raise post-flop. If he's 3-betting almost nothing, you can go ahead and just fold. But it's hard to know who is doing what. If this guy calls us from the big blind, most likely he's calling with too many hands. If one of these people 3-bets us, we don't know if he just saw an opportunity or if he really has a big hand. It's all over the place in Null'em and Hold'em, right? So if we make it 100 or we make it 150, that's like throwing fastballs to a fastball hitter, right? He's going to know how to 3-bet that. If we make it anything above 3x, my research has shown people do 3-bet that less. It seems very strange, but people do that. So we go to 175 here, and the second these guys fold, we are in great shape because now we have position on everyone, right? And there you go. And the big blind flats us because he's getting a discount. He sees, oh, it's only 125, and I have a 10,000. Boom, we are in. Like, we are in the bank right now. None of the alarms went off. He's got too many hands. He's going to be missing too often on the flop. We're going to pick up all these chips he just put in. So life is good. We made it that big to hopefully get this guy to call. So excellent, right? And so we raise, and he calls, and this board comes out, and he checks to us. Now here, do you want to check? Do you want to bet 124 into 375? Do you want to bet 184 into 375? Or do you want to bet 264 into 375?
I'm so tilted by the volume issues. I can't do any more of my man's quizzes. I'm so tilted by the volume issues.
You got to go to 100% to hear him. But
I mean, I'm 100% on my mixer across the board.
Yep.
So annoying. But I don't know about his. I mean, I can just disagree with his pre-flop stance on some of these situations, not wanting to go small because he doesn't know how to play 3-bets versus some hands. And this gets it heads up more, which I agree with. And we do win bigger pots and people are going to still overfold. I agree. But I think keeping a small SPR and people playing even wider range of 3-betting wider and exploiting that aspect of it is good as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't DV much. I min raise always because I play fucking 15 tables and stream, and so min raising is just easier for me. And I'm fine playing multi-way and playing more pots post. It's fine. But I definitely see the argument for sizing up when we're deep. I personally never go more than 3. I think 3 is. I know he said in his research he gets 3-bet less with 3 versus 3.5, but I'm not. I don't get overly 3-bet. And I wonder if part of this is a style thing, now that I'm thinking about this out loud, if the fact that people know Alex plays a different style and plays wider ranges and can be aggressive and weird, if they 3-bet him more because he's Alex.
Let's be honest, like at a $5 tournament, how many people know Alex? Maybe one person.
Fair.
I mean, these guys are just wrecks, just getting on, having a good time, or they're just rags that get off work and just grind, a few tournaments before bed or something. But yeah, I just think he tries to exploit that fact and just tries to get a heads up versus these guys. And I can see the case for it. I just try to do it in a different way. I don't know. This 3X is silly, she says. Sorry about the volume again, guys. This is one of the last ones we're going to have to do for a minute of these and have to get them adjusted. But we would all go small here. I think a lot of us would go small here on this texture. I think Alex is going to go bigger. I think he's going to be in this ballpark. We're just using a bigger size. And from just his cadence in these situations, it feels like he's going to use a larger size.
I'm going to start a little bit of a ride here. Let me get caught up in the chat. Eek says, 124, we bet merge range here, factor overs, want to see bet, we can call a check raise. Cyrus says he bet normally 200, so he's going 184. Spano says third pot. 2 overs, backdoor flush. If he defends pot, bad, mostly Broadway-ish. I don't know what he defends that's Broadway on this board. It's mostly going to be ace-X and then pairs and pair and draw combos, I would think. Joe says he'll go 264. Just
I think so, dude. I think he's going 264.
Shorter, I min-raise all the time. Agreed, Maniac. That's a very common strategy. We have position. I'm actually betting so small here that it's check.
You just think this board just nails it. But I mean, we cap our
range. If he checks twice, I'm cool.
I don't know, man.
Betting. I have a spade. I really want
here.
to see the turn. I don't want to get check raised here, and I think that could happen on a board like this with the big blind specifically. It's going to have a lot of pairs, pair and draw combos, and things like that. I would check. I don't know that Alex is going to do that, but on this board, I am checking.
Yeah, I think Alex is going big for some reason. We 3x'd, over 3x'd pre-flop. He wants to continue the story of probably polarizing his range. I mean, not polarizing, but just using a more dynamic sizing to represent a stronger range. And yeah, maybe polarizing by using a bigger bet sizing rather than checking and capping his range. Because he's going to be able to barrel a lot of overcards and spades on turns.
Yeah, Maniac says he has the nut advantage, but we do have all the overpairs like aces, kings, and queens. I agree. What am I doing with those hands?
We got some 124s.
So I would be min-raising my aces, kings, and queens, Maniac, which would make me think he's defending wider, which would make me potentially check this back.
No informational villain.
Because a 4, a 5, a 3, a 6, all kind of shitty for me. And I don't want to bet flop, check turn, and then face a weird-ass spot on the river. So I actually might check those too, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm
the villain? I think they're unknown. I didn't catch anything specific.
All right, I'm going to go with my chat. We got 1-264. I know Alex in the past has hated 184, so I've never used that for him anymore because he thinks it's an autopilot lazy bet. So it's 124, 264.
Is 184 straight half pot?
Yep.
Yeah, so that one's out.
Yeah, I've heard it too many times.
I'm the same boat. I never bet half pot, ever.
Right. All right, so let's go, I guess, smaller just to make him fold. I'm going 260. Let's go.
Let me count on here because I'm going to go with the chat. I see more 184s than anything else.
All right, BQ, this is your moment. This is your moment, B. Mary says check. Damn, everybody's check. Ah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna do something spastastic and go big.
Okay. The first
'Cause I'm-
deviation of the day. Here we go.
Yeah, Alex. I'm gonna try to get inside Alex.
We're tied right now. This is for the juju.
Now, I'm hoping a lot of you know what I'm about to say, right? And I want you to know, if you know what I'm about to say, I've done my job, right? With you, I still have a lot of people to reach. This isn't supposed to be entertainment, right? My job is to make sure you win at poker. And if you think about it, most of the hands you're going to play are going to be pre-flop raises, C-bets, 3-bets, along those lines. So we should really have that down. Just like a boxer really needs a jab and a cross, a hook. Those hands really work on that. Like, yeah, you know, the haymaker is fun if you can land it, but maybe it doesn't come up that often. Or if you guys are into MMA, like spinning back fist looks really cool, kind of hard to put in to practice, right? My job as a coach, if you can think about playing youth sports growing up, if you had a coach that just relentlessly harped on the fundamentals to the point where you could hear his voice or her voice in your head when you were running drills in basketball or baseball or football, that tended to be a coach. If the lesson was right, that was really good, right? Because simple concepts that give you the 90% of results from 10% of the inputs, that's the stuff we want to focus on. And we're right here, okay? Because chipping up right here is a very big deal, okay? So I'm hoping you're hearing what I'm about to say, okay? So I'm gonna explain everything at the end, okay? So we bet 124, he calls. The turn is the 2 hearts and he checks. Now, do you want to check? Do you want to bet 224 into 623? Do you want to bet 312 into 623? Or do you want to bet 444 into 623?
Why are these quizzes so hard? They're so tough.
Because Alex plays this game in a strange way, which makes strange decisions.
So this is tough. So the texture doesn't get any better for us. He has the nut advantage. He just has overall a lot more 2x. And the board gets better for the big blinds range. What do you want to do? Do you want to continue bluffing? Queen high, what's up? Oh, Tony Warriors, thank you for that raid, my man. I really appreciate that, buddy. Hope you're having a good one. Really appreciate it. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. We have a Pokercoaching.com study stream currently in progress. I'm with my man, GodsBigToe. So feel free to get in here, chat pro, do your thing, relax. And we're just trying to get better, going over some hands.
Brain melt incoming, says Cyrus.
What's up, Sergeant Pepper? Good to see you, buddy. What do you guys like in this spot? So Eek the Cat says 444, using a large bet sizing here. Mary says 224, going third pot again. But you're playing there to go small and then decide to use turn our hand into a bluff on good rivers where there's overs. You know, we have all the over pairs. We should bet large. Ooh. So we want to go 444, you're saying, huh? Okay, Amy. I play mixed games, so this 2-card game is foreign to me. Yeah, you know you're a beast at this. Come on, buddy. That's what's up, man. All right, so how you feeling, man? What's your chat?
Conflicted. I would not bet 444, and I would not bet 312, but I would certainly bet something in the middle. 60% is 375-ish. 2/3 is 410-ish, 411. Pull out the calculator to see kind of what I would do. I definitely think we have to bet. We have Queen High. It's kind of like that Jack 10 spot with Jonathan. And I do think we can get his like weird draws and rando ace high floats to fold. 444 seems a little big, and 312 seems a little fucking small.
Everybody in my chat wants to bet bet this turn and then just check river. Just use our hand as a double barrel bluff on a card that's better for him.
Yep. I mean, God, I want to bet
I mean,
so
we
bad. Anybody else out there? I see a 4 from Eek, who's just nailing this Assassinato quiz. Soprano's got 4. That's all I see. Anybody else? I'm a little conflicted. What do you think?
I'm super. I am. I don't know. I think I misplayed this spot a lot, to be honest with you. I'll be honest. I think I misplayed this spot,
How would you misplay
and
it?
I'm not being consistent. And I think sometimes I would over bluff this spot. Sometimes I would just check give up when I shouldn't be. So I have a hard time deciding which opponents I should be continuing barreling here and then with rivers. And still pretty dry turn. We still have all the overpairs in our range, so just giving up here pretty much caps our range, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just pretty much he can just lead any river, and we can't really bluff much. Yeah, like a lot of rivers, we just gonna have a hard time bluffing because we'll get bluff caught all the time. So I don't know, man.
Sal says he's checking with his thinking 4. So I'm gonna probably go with 4 just because that's what the Army said. But I feel like we have to bet. I would bet like.
Does 2-4 accomplish anything? Like another small bet? What part of his range folds to another small ass bet?
Not much. Bullshit floats, just the randos.
I mean, just a king high, king 3. I mean, king 4 diamonds or something like that. Maybe I don't know.
It's the same. This is a weak spot, but we have
yeah.
It's true.
All right, I guess we feel inclined to keep bluffing. I mean, I probably would check here just because, and then just turn overcards into bluffs. But
I would definitely bet here, but I would bet in between 312 and 444.
What hands are in this continue range? We should and can call a bet. Probably ace X or pairs. Oh yeah, I mean ace X. Some of his ace fives would probably could still call. All of his pairs to defend it because we did use a larger bet pre. We went 3.25x, so I think he defends much tighter in that case. But yeah, I feel like I guess we're gonna keep bluffing. I don't know what else to do here. I mean, I feel like I would check, but that feels too weak. All right, let's do it.
All right, I'm going 4 with the Army, but I would go in between. Let's find out.
You're folding?
No, I'm betting 4.
Yeah.
We're max betting because that's what the Army said to do.
Well, I got to go something different because I'm behind you, so I am going to go 2-4. Let's do it.
Shit.
No, wait a minute. I don't know what I'm gonna do. All right, let's do it, boys. All right.
All right, guys. So let's back this up to the flop, and we'll discuss why we did this on the turn, right? So on the flop, you had a couple of options here. So this guy has missed this board, most likely, right? So you got a couple of options here. The one I dislike the most is betting half pot, okay? The reason for that is I always ask people why. You just got to get with specifics. The way to get good at poker is to just keep challenging yourself, right? True thinking is a dialogue within your head, right? You try to challenge yourself as much as possible, and that just gets to the veracity. It's a big word. It gets to what's really true, right? Because the capacity for self-delusion in Nolan and Hold'em is tremendous. If you've ever been into a card room, I'll tell you one thing. I've never met a bad poker player in my life. If you talk to them, they're all great. Every single one of them. No one's losing money. Every single one is good. They're just unlucky. The capacity to delude yourself in poker is tremendous. And we all do it, right? I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. We just have to be, you got to play devil's advocate with yourself. So the way I do it is just clarifying questions. So I used to bet half pot here, and then I started asking myself, well, why do I bet half pot here? And this was the really fun part about coaching is you get to learn more about your process. And I said, why do I bet half pot here? And it's like, well, I want him to fold his high cards. So get more specific. Well, does he fold ace 10 to this bet? Half pot? I don't know. I had to admit, I didn't know, right? And if I bet 264, he probably folds ace 10, in which case he's folding all high cards, in which case, okay, my bet needs to work 40% of the time. He's folding 55% of the time. Let's call it a day. Made some money, right? If I bet 124, he's clearly not folding like anything, right? He's got 10-9 of hearts, probably not folding because the 6 is out there, right? Just too small of a bet, right? Half pot, I don't know. Somewhere in between. So you're probably thinking, oh, and check is really good versus a really good opponent who's going to think you're checking back a really good ace or a pair and is just going to check, give up because they think they've seen that pot control line 100 times. $5 ACR, MTT, I highly doubt that's going to be the case. Now, so you might be asking, well, why did you bet 124 then if he doesn't fold anything? This is, I really like this on like all low court card boards because if you bet 264, most likely he folds his high cards, but we're not positive. But the safer play is to bet something really small. Then he calls you with all of his high cards. Then on the turn, he's going to miss. This is a beautiful card for him to miss. And then you bet something normal, right? Oh, okay. Like you don't want to bet 224 and sucker him into calling again with a high card. I don't think you need to bet 444. You could if you want. Like that's fine. Please don't check. You've suckered him into this. But you want to bet something like, okay, trying to get a little bit more money out of my 8s or 9s. And they'll go, okay, I gave it one call with a high card. He fired again. I'm done. And boom. Just picked up all these chips. All these chips. And if you tack on all these little 4 big blind, 5 big blind pots throughout the tournament, you get into that flip, right? 15 big blinds later, you're free rolling on it, right? People always do this thing with me. It's just, I can't win a flip to save my life. If I could win flips, I could win poker tournaments. And my question is always, why did you need the flip to win? Sometimes I see the table they're at the beginning of the day. I'm like, man, you should have been going for the gold at the beginning. Those players were loose, they were passive, and they were going to bust that tournament in 4 levels. You were supposed to be ISO raising, getting it heads up, 3-betting. You were supposed to be gunning. They were putting their chips in with too many hands. You were supposed to isolate them and take them to the flop and outwork them. You weren't doing it. You were waiting for a hand. And then, yeah, now you got to win a flip. You missed your move 8 moves ago, 8 levels ago. All right, guys. Fun fundamentals hand. Hope you enjoyed it.
He makes a lot of very good points there, guys. I gotta say, he makes you question yourself, like you're questioning why I always lose the flips deep or something there because you didn't pick up enough pots. You know, it's kind of what he's saying. It's a function of you getting too short and not taking enough pots instead of actually being unlucky is what he's saying.
Yep.
But yeah, I like that. I'm kind of surprised he went just half pot on the turn, but he's super unpredictable and tough. So
yeah, and I got 8s across the board, 8, 8, 8. So I'm gonna consider that a swish for an Alex Gerald hand. Like that's close to when you're dealing with Picasso.
That's the one. Yeah. All right, you got one?
Yeah, I got one more. Let me check.
Take your time. Dr. HJ, what's up, my dude? What's up, Drizzle?
Let's go back to JL. What about... I don't know. Multiple opponents. How about 661?
661 with queens, multi-way pot, 75, 150. It's early with 167 bigs. Let's take a look.
Here I get down pocket queens, which is amazing. Under the gun +1 raises, hijack calls, and now it's on me in the cutoff seat. Should we fold, call, re-raise to 1600, or re-raise to 2200?
Ooh. What do you guys like here? What's the size? Eek says 22 right out the gate. 16 just 4x when we're 150 big blinds deep. Okay. I know what I'm doing, but says site dependent. How about a live 1K? What's up, Melissa? Good morning. Good to see you.
Sitting here muted. Sorry about that, Ginger. I said playing with your grandbaby way more important than this. You can catch the replay.
Right.
Welcome. $1,600 streaming, and then I see a few 22s. This is 1,000 live. I was like, this is the $5 tournament that I'm probably going closer to 22. I would go 12, 16. I would go 22 still.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Live, Melissa says 22, has a lot of live experience herself. Dr. HJ's going 22. Amy's going 22. So we got a few 16s and 22. What if we were
normal
one?
thing would
What
be
if it was
like
one limp?
1,200-ish, 1,500-ish, plus the 1,200 for the limpers. So that puts me right there.
Yep. So if it was a single opponent, would you go 16?
Yes.
And we're adding a little bit more, an extra big blind plus 1.25 bigs or 1.5 bigs or something here with the 2-2. Yep. Ooh, somebody says I would call with jacks. Ah, gee.
Eek said he would call jacks as well. I think I would call with jacks as well this deep.
Yeah, I'm raising queens. Jacks, I mean, tens and jacks, kind of debatable, but I could see a raise there as well.
Some 100%.
100%. Because you know when you raise and get called, it's going to be hell on
Flops
earth.
are always going to have an over. Then I'm going to c-bet that. Turns are going to have a lot of overs. And now I'm turning tens into a bluff. And it's super awkward. And the pot's bloated. And I'm running out of breath. So, yeah. I would just flat.
All right, let's go 2.2K. Hearts, thank you for that follow, my man. Really appreciate it.
I definitely think this is a spot where we want to re-raise. You're going to find that, like against early position raisers, you typically want to be relatively cautious. However, once there's a raise and a call, that's when you want to start being a little bit more aggressive with your best hands, just because you get more money in the pot against someone who's drawing relatively thin. And if you do get 4-bet, yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know we can still call, especially given we're very deep. So I'm definitely going to be re-raising. Between 1,600 and 2,200, I think it's close. I would typically go about 1,600 between those two options. I might actually go more like 1,800 in the real world. So any play is fine as long as you're making it 4 or 5 times the opponent's initial raise once there's a raise and a call. It's about a pot size raise. The small blind cold calls. So the small blind in this scenario is very loose aggressive, very splashy, is not afraid to get out of line. And the other two people call 2. Flop comes 9-3-2, 2 diamonds, and everybody checks to me. Should we check, bet 2,000, bet 4,000, or bet 6,000?
I know what I'm doing.
Me too. Let's see what everyone else is doing.
Someone says 4K all day.
4K all day. Who said that?
Cyrus.
Okay. Journey says 2K.
4K from Ginger, 2K from Joe.
Ooh, we got a 2K and a 6K. Two completely ends of different ends of the spectrum. Yeah, 2 and a 6. Melissa's going 6. Poker SNCO's going 6.
Gap says 4K. Almost all 4Ks in my chat. Soprano's going 6.
4K Eek says, I like 4. Yeah, we see a 6 out there. I mean, I like using a dynamic sizing here. We are for opponents. We can get called by so many worse hands here. Do we start to lose the small blinds like 10s, jack, city hands, or flush draws? No. Yeah, do we lose anything by going 6 that we wouldn't call 4?
I mean, you're pricing out draws. I mean, I want to give draws a bad price, but I don't want to price them out. I want to give them a price that makes it a mistake for them to call.
Fair enough.
So
that's a good.
I would go 4. I mean, 4 is like 2/3 pot. Like, I don't think there's any reason to go 6. I think 4 will do the trick, personally.
Right. Someone says that's a good flop. No one should have sets except 9. That is not true. The hijack could easily overcall hands like 3s and deuces, and then be committed to calling 3 more or 4 more bets or whatever when we go to when we raise. So he would just still have those pairs in his range.
As long as that's okay. There's no plus or minus points for spelling.
Live players like to call. The price rarely matters. That's a very good point.
I can agree with that. Raised, we hate our life. Agreed, and we put a quarter of our stack out there. Our remaining stack.
So you're saying like their ranges can like are more inelastic when they have a pair or something or a flush draw that's going to decide to call. The difference between a few thousand isn't going to matter as much. I can get behind that, Melissa. It makes sense for sure.
6K is so polarized that our opponents are going to fold everything except hands that are probably beating us, so 4K.
Mm.
Agree.
Damn. 14K on Bovada, somebody says.
Fair. Gold star.
Especially in the crazy eights or lucky sevens. Cats
We're like
not
147,000
folding.
blinds deep.
9-10 is the nuts to somebody, but all right. I'm gonna try. Yeah. I know Jonathan though. I feel like I learned his cadence, and he's gonna want to go 4. But I kind of like 6 here, just using more dynamic sizing here. Maybe go 4 a little bit more with the Queen of Diamonds. But
yeah, you know me, I like Jonathan, and more Jonathan than Matt Affleck, similar styles. I'm feeling pretty confident about the 4 myself.
I know, me too. I want to get good
loses me because he
scores.
goes a little nitty or a little low on the value. So we part ways there a little bit. But yeah.
Flush draws aren't folding to 1 street to 6K bet. I think we get value from a larger bet. Then we can set up river jam on misdraw turn. Jonathan Little probably goes 4. Yeah, he's trying to teach a style that's, overall going to be better. And I think 4K, if we're against good thinking opponents, them not really realizing it's a bigger bet. But yeah, I think 4 is the bet. God damn it, man.
You do you.
Yeah. All right, Melissa, let's do it. I'm going 6K. Fuck it. I'm spazzing out here.
Here we go.
Knowing damn well it's wrong in Jonathan's eyes.
YOLO.
YOLO. All right, let's go.
This is a pretty uncoordinated board. I mean, I realize there are a few draws available, but for the most part, this board should not connect too well with any of our opponents unless they have a set. So I want to just go ahead and bet, and I think in this scenario, I can probably bet with almost my whole range. I mean, if I had a hand like, I don't know, ace-king, maybe I don't bet. But if I have something like ace-10, I'd want to bet to get ace-jack and ace-queen to fold. If I have a pair of like 8s, I want to bet to protect the equity. So this is a spot where I'm probably betting almost everything, then opting to give up with, well, not even give up, but like check behind with some hands that have a little bit of showdown value, but don't really want to put money in the pot like ace-king. So I like a bet of about 2,000. And given I'm betting with almost everything, I want to be using a small size, right? If you've been through the cash game course, you know that when you want to be betting very frequently on uncoordinated boards, you usually want to be using a small sizing. People always ask, like, are these tournament hands applicable to cash games? And the answer is definitely yes. I mean, we're basically playing 150 big blind deep cash game here. Because if you go broke, I'm sure you can re-enter, and if you... There's not a whole lot of value in like hanging around early in the tournament. So, yes, these basically apply to... They might as well be cash game hands. All right, anyway, small blind, loose aggressive guy goes all in, and everybody else folds. Should we fold or call?
Well, 2K says that even multi-way, we can bet small because people are just continuing what they're continuing with, and they're not what they're not. I think I agree with that, but I would go larger because I want to get value from those hands.
I am rattled right now. 2K?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that coming.
My chat's a little rattled too.
Yeah, I'm rattled. I mean, I would never. I'm probably always 60%, 40
How many
to
points was 6K?
60%.
Out of curiosity.
Oh, it was the fucking pits. It was 3 points.
It was
It was
8
the
for
pits.
4, so it was close.
Sheesh. Yeah, I got 3.
It says rebuy, table 5, rebuy, table 6, rebuy, whatever table Toe's sitting at.
Draining, you were the only one to get the answer right in my chat. Good
2K
job with the 2K.
Yeah, Joe got it too. Props to Joe. Gold star.
So now is he really folding?
Joe says he's crying and wiping tears away as he puts his chips in the pot.
That argument makes more sense for a bigger bet if they're going to call with what they're going to call with.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just think going a little bit bigger, we still get value from a lot of hands and condensing just some of the random cards to continue King Jack. I don't know. I would just tend to go like, 4 to 6 there a lot myself, but maybe a spot we should think about and look at a little bit. It's hard to solve those multi-way like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I remember GTO saying
betting small multi-way is better. I would need him here to explain, but I feel like I hear him in my head saying that.
Oh, just. Yeah, I
Just
mean,
GTO.
yeah.
Sorry, I should be.
Yeah.
More
Yeah, you said GTO. Yeah, it's
I didn't
a bunch
mean like
of words.
the GTO theory. I meant just GTO. My computer-like friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'll hear echo. Yeah, what are you guys doing here? So call. I don't see a fold in sight. If he flat as
This
kings.
is all said combos. I'm just not one to fold an overpair. It's got a flush or a 9x hand. He's spazzing, and I've got to roll like Jonathan Little. I'm just not folding.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a snap call, but I mean, I think it's just because he can still have worse. I mean, he can easily call here with jacks or tens, and we go small. It looks like we may be stabbing or have some worse hands, and he can just jam those. So let's snap call and rebuy if we need to.
Rebuy. All right, let's play it.
Some players look at this and say, oh, I really don't want to call off for my tournament life, so I'm going to fold, without really thinking about this particular loose aggressive player's range. If the opponent's shoving any top pairs, or like worse hands like ace-3 or ace-2, then we just have pretty much a no-brainer call, because yes, there are 9 combinations of sets, but there are also a whole load of draws and a whole lot of worse made hands. Like, just take ace-9, for example, right? There are 3 9s and 4 aces left in the deck, so there's 12 of those. There's more ace-9 than there are all of the sets. There's more king-9 than there are all of the sets, right? Once you start looking at ace-9, king-9, queen-9, jack-9, if all those are jamming, which I don't think is a good play, but it is what some people do. Once you look at those jamming, then it's just a super easy call, because we're only in bad shape only a small portion of the time. The opponent could easily be drawing jams. I think that actually does make some sense. Like, say he has 6-4 of diamonds, or, well, any diamond draw really loose aggressive players may shove. For all we know, maybe he's jamming something like ace-5 of clubs, right? Really, what it amounts to is if the opponent's jamming many draws at all, and some worse made hands, like some people will jam pocket jacks or tens here, not really thinking when they get called, they're almost dead. So this is a spot where, especially against a loose aggressive player, you just have to call. So I do call, and the opponent has pocket 8s for basically nothing. We get it all in. Not sure what the board runs out. We end up winning. And it's always nice to collect a punt.
I'm not sure how the board runs out. We end up winning.
He doesn't even remember. He's like, this cat just punted. All he can think about.
Don't worry. It doesn't matter what he came. He punted, we won. Go to the next quiz.
This is a 1K, bro. Like, not a $10 online.
We were talking about 600, let's say 200 to $1,000 buy-in. Live tournaments play a lot like the small stakes online stuff. And this is a perfect example of that, right?
This 1K is like a $50 online tournament or something. Like, yeah. Wow. How you feeling? You got time for one more? You got to run? How you feeling? I got the house to myself.
Oh, for once.
No, yeah, the kids aren't fighting, no screaming, nobody's bugging me to run. So
I could throw one more in here.
Live 1K is probably $33 to $55 online. Yep. Yeah, Melissa said it's like a 55 online. I felt the same way when I played some of the 1Ks.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. So it's my turn?
Yep.
Let's go, man. Love these streams. Yeah, I think we all learn I learn something every single week. We do this, or I'm enlightened. I know one thing I'm not doing. I can't do another Alex one right now. I can't do it.
Yeah, honestly, guys, we love doing these streams. I look forward to these streams. I really enjoy it.
Me too.
Did not do well in school, yet I love studying poker. And it's kind of a cool insight, because this is what Six and I studied together on our own, obviously. And this is what we do on some level. This is what we do, all day, every day. And so it gives you guys a little bit of taste of how to study, how we're studying, gives you a little input into what our thought process is, gives you a little insight into what the public is doing, so it's all good. What these crazy killers are doing, it's all good.
Trying to find something shallower, big blind wise, than maybe because all these Jonathan hands just like 100 bigs, 100 bigs, 200 bigs. Trying to find a Jonathan Little hand that we haven't looked at that is sub 100 bigs.
All right, let's filter by coach. Oh, I did that, and you're right at the top.
Let's go.
You got a number?
I'm looking. Oh, Jonathan's playing sixes in the main event. Oh, we've already looked at it. Damn, I was wanting to see that. We've already played it. All right, let's 42 bigs, 590. Oh, we've already done that. Oh my god, dude. 100 bigs, 100 bigs.
I see 50 bigs. I see 43 bigs, 583.
583?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Oh, 43 bigs with kings. 5100 multi-way pot. Yeah, let's look at this. All right, I clicked it.
I'm subbed on a different. Whoa. It says I'm subbed on a different site, a different training site. You know, you can never have too many. You can never have too many. I've probably bought into every training site there is. To be honest with you. Right off the bat, Cyrus saying, "Fuck you, Kings."
Here we have Pocket Kings in a $1,000 buy-in Turbo World Series of Poker event, facing an under-the-gun raise to 250 at 50, 100, and a call. It is worth mentioning we are playing 4,300 each, so
all right, boys.
Big blinds, rather odd stack size. Should we fold?
Oh no, you're good. Take your time.
Call, we raise to 850.
Depends on opponent. So yeah, we see an open at 2.5x in the call from the low jack, and here we are in the cutoff with killers. I'm always 3-betting here. Someone says I'm always. Why is fold even here? 1350, 850, or the slow play. What are you guys thinking? What side you going, Journey?
I got a shitload of 850s in my chat.
So a lot of people going a size that's big, but big enough to induce and keep the calling ranges wider. Whereas if we go 1350, it might look kind of scary. Midas the Bear says 1350. He ain't fucking around.
Yeah, Lemmy's going 1350, Cyrus going 1350, Toe going 1350. But this is very similar to the Spot Maniac, like you said. To the spot before. Our stacks has a little different, which might slightly change things, being 43 bigs deep.
We are 43 big blinds deep.
Gab going 850. Everyone going 850 but me and a handful of other people.
Man.
But I tend to size up. I am the big bet kind of guy. I make it hurt.
Yeah, 850 isn't even. So if we put in 850, 17, 19, 20. So we'll be able to get it in by the turn anyway. We may keep ranges wider and induce wider range to just call. Whereas if we go 1350, we might start losing some hands and condense to just the premiums. I'm almost 850. I know. I feel like I would go 1350 in game, but I feel like Jonathan's gonna go 850.
I agree. Maniac says I think we'd go bigger if he was out of position. Yeah, very common and probably a good strategy. Out of position, go slightly bigger. In position, you can go slightly smaller. Yeah. Didn't hurt a little. We had this last night. 1350 for the pain, says Cyrus. Till I have to put the pain. I do. I make it hurt. I make you really uncomfortable. I make you mess your shorts. And then once you have shit yourself, it makes it real hard to make a solid decision.
Yeah, if we go 1350, we can just shove flops, right? Is that what's going to be? That's what's going to happen if we get three-way? We easily can just jam flop.
And he says, under the gun and a call, both strong ranges, build a big pot. Agree? But right, I think Jonathan's going to go 850. Caveat. But I agree. I agree with you, Lenny.
All right, I'm going 850 just because I feel like the cadence of Jonathan is going to be keep these ranges in and wider rather than just forcing them to have premiums, although he does open from under the gun, which makes me a little conflicted with going 1350 and a call. But in the last quiz we just went, I thought he would go bigger pre, and he tend to use a smaller size.
I agree. So I'm going to go 850 because the chat says so, and I think Jonathan's going to do that too, but I would go 1350 in game.
850, we can induce a 4-bet. Eek says, I like flatting with 20 big blinds or less, aggro opponents behind, but they're not. Yeah, no notes on if these guys are aggro, and they all have about this similar stack. So
Eek says we can induce a 4-bet with 850, but my argument would be anything they're going to 4-bet, they're probably going to 4-bet anyways. Especially, I don't think people 4-bet light, not at this buy-in level, and certainly not from under the gun. They're going to go with it or not, right? If they're going to 4-bet.
Damn, if we go 1350, bro, plus 3K. We are going to be able to just get this shit in on any flop.
Any flop that's not an ace.
Sheesh. That's kind of enticing. All right, 1350 it is.
Ooh, snap. We're going to have controversy.
I know. I don't know,
Don't
man.
let me down.
Fuck, man. I don't know what to do.
He needs this one to tie up this.
All right. Fallon, what sides are we going, Fallon? Or Melissa? Melissa, you said 1350? I already called him, Melissa.
Maniac makes a good point. Same thing if we go 850, they both call. We still have a pot size shove on the flop.
What sides are we going, guys? I'm going to pick one. Pick one of you guys to save the day for Team Sixes. All right, fuck it. Nobody's answering.
They're leaving you. I think you're on your own.
850, you son of a bitches. How dare you guys? 850. All right, somebody said 850. Let's do it.
Sixes leveled himself. They're laughing at you.
Yeah, I did. I started thinking about like, shit, I can just shove flops, but we're fine. All right, let's do it. 850 it is.
This is a neat scenario because pretty much no matter how much we make it, we will be able to get it all in by the river if we feel inclined, right? Like let's say we make it 850 in our opponent's call, or even one of the opponent's calls. Pot's going to go to 1,700. We're only going to have 3,200 left in our stack. We can bet like 1,000 on the flop and then jam the turn. So we're not worried about getting our whole stack in at all because we'll be able to do that. So for that reason, I think we need to make it 850 instead of a more default size of about pot, which is 1,350. Because if you make it 1,350, yes, you may induce either a shove or a fold. But we don't mind playing kings post flop. I know a lot of people are definitely afraid of playing kings in a manner that will lead to their opponents seeing a flop a lot of the time because sometimes an ace comes. But, more often than not, an ace does not come and you just end up with a strong overpair. So I think making it 850 is going to be better than 1,350 in this scenario. I do not think we need to call. I think calling would be a pretty big mistake because then we actually do start to run into the issue where we may not be able to get it in by the river, and we just let our opponents see the flop for free, which is never great, especially when you're against an under-the-gun player who should have a pretty strong range, which means that they will call a 3-bet way more frequently than, let's say, if a cutoff player raised and we were on the button. So we're going to make it 850 in this scenario. We get 2 calls, and again, a lot of people think this is really bad, but I promise you, it's not. We're quite happy here because we have the best hand by a mile, and with any luck, we get a reasonable flop. Flop comes 9-4-3. It's pretty reasonable. Under the gun checks, as expected. Low jack does not check, which is kind of unexpected. This is definitely a spot where I should have a pretty big range advantage, and no one should really have a nut advantage here, which means the person with the range advantage usually still has the nut advantage. So low jack goes all in for a little bit more than pot. 3,450 into the 2,700 pot. Should we fold or call?
I mean, we're all calling. Here's that. See here.
All right. Anybody that folds here, anybody that says fold here gets permabanned, and I know you're trolling, so.
Ron says, I call and go get myself something to drink. I love it.
Snap. All right, I mean, nobody's folding.
Nobody's folding.
Yeah, let's just snap call this off, and let's just snap it off.
Okay.
Yep.
This is about as clear-cut of a call as you will find. Yes, we could be beat by the sets. Random 4-3 suited maybe. But more often than not, our opponent's going to show up with either a flush draw, which, we're not ahead. I mean, we're not behind, but we're also not crushing. Or perhaps a 9 that's just playing it a little bit oddly and doesn't want to get outdrawn, like 10-9 suited maybe, or ace-9 suited. Every once in a while, your opponent will show up with something random, like, I don't even know, 6-5 of diamonds or something like that, but I guess that's a draw.
Pocket eights.
Some people, again, will think, well, I only have kings, and I could be beat, and I don't want to get it in against the draw because they could outdraw me, but again, get over that. You're going to have to take some risks to win a poker tournament, and pretty much no matter what stage of the tournament I'm in, we could be at the final table with huge payout implications. We're still calling here because kings absolutely crushes our opponent's range. Obviously, under the gun could just have a set here as well, but more often than not, we have the best hand, so we are happily calling. And our opponent had pocket eights, which is a hand that he pretty much butchered. This is a scenario where, notice if I re-raise bigger pre-flop, pocket eights could just fold. So we trapped him in pre-flop. And then that resulted in him making a pretty big blunder of just open jamming the flop. It's not a good jam at all because on the flop, if he checks and I bet small, as I will do with my whole range, if he feels like continuing, then he can check raise and have some fold equity against hands like ace-king and random overcards and get a little bit more money in the pot. As he plays here, he doesn't get any additional money in the pot against hands like ace-king, which I'll fold to the shove, clearly. and he just doesn't win as much money as he could when he does decide to play the hand. Also, if he checks and I bet and under the gun calls, well then pocket eights can just easily fold. So yes, pocket ace is probably going to lose some money on a pretty dry 9-4-3 board, but there are definitely better ways to play it. Don't just think, oh, I would have lost my money here no matter how we played it out. Think instead, was there a better way to play this? And right here, low jack should definitely check. I would have bet small. Under the gun maybe does something, and then low jack gets to fold. Or if low jack folds, maybe under the gun, or low jack, I'm sorry, if under the gun folds, maybe low jack calls, and then gets a bad turn sometimes, and then check folds. Low jack doesn't just have to lose all their money here, but this is a spot where a lot of people just blindly lose all their money like low jack did.
Oh, that was so funny.
We gotta play 1Ks, man. Fuck this shit. Let's just. I mean, nonstop. Like, look at these punts in these 1Ks.
So I had a funny thing. I don't know if you heard me, but I called dude's hand when he was like, he could have a range of this, and I'm like, he could have pocket eights, and then he flipped it over. And I was being funny because of the last one, and then Joe brought up a great point. Is this the same player that we were playing against with the queens? He just rebought.
Yeah, it just makes no sense. These punts, I mean, he's never getting called by worse.
That guy's going all in with eights every 30. It's his favorite hand.
Yeah, we got to start playing live, Amy. This is bullshit. Like, on line, they're just literally going to have, like, 2 overs and a nut flush draw or something like that and never miss. Or they're just going to have a slow plate overpair. Like, what? Like,
yeah, it's one of those things where you can't get the argument live. So that's why you and I both stick to online as much as we do. But the other argument is that, in general, the players who are playing live are far weaker and aren't usually the steady and type, and so you make it up for that, with your massive ROI, or EV, whatever you want to call it.
Right. And Melissa says live they may have way worse than A tier. Yeah, I mean, just a punt, dude. Don't do this. Like he was pretty much saying before I fucked up the sound. Don't do this.
You didn't get the memo. Eights are the new aces. That's what he said.
Eights are the new aces, especially when you overcall and check jam. Like when you're representing just sets and flush draws. That's
I mean, the problem with the eights here is like you're getting worse to fold and better's always calling. You're accomplishing nothing. You're basically just kind of throwing it in.
Yeah, you let him fold his bluffs that might just see bet light.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, you deny equity from some of those hands, but when he does call you, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, flush draws, 9x, overpairs are calling.
Yeah.
Straight draws, things like that. I don't know what straight draws we have.
Right. Well, I think that's it.
I think that's the one. I'm psyched, man. We've killed it. Both of us kind of killed these quizzes today. Calling out pocket eights. I'm ready to play.
Yeah, we got a lot right. I mean, you gonna play tonight? Is that what you're gonna try to make?
Ask Mrs. Toe very nicely and then go. I've been married a long time, so I'm gonna ask Mrs. Toe and give her the old toe charm and see what she says.
The toe charm, okay.
Look at his face. How do you say no to this face?
No, you really can't. You can't. Yeah, I'm probably got a Christmas party, so I'll probably take tonight off and come back tomorrow. But thank you guys. If you are new here and you've been enjoying this, remember you can get in on it for free. And then also the subscription options are pretty amazing as well. And if you're using some other training sites, it's good to just absorb all this, and work in your game. A lot of different coaches. They got some new amazing coaches joining here in the next few weeks. I think you'll be hearing about and that very well. So excited for that news to be announced. And thank you guys, man. I really appreciate your support and being here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, PC in my chat, exclamation point PC, exclamation point PC in my chat, exclamation point PC in Sixes chat. Thank you guys for coming along. We had a lot of fun. Like we always do. We'll be back next weekend as well. Record this as always. I put it up on the YouTube channel if you missed any of it. If you want to catch up, if you want to watch all of the ones that we've done in the past, they are available to you. And don't forget to catch both me and Sixes for sure playing live tomorrow, chasing all those dreams out there, trying to make that month as we head into the new year. It's time to close out and buff up the bankrolls for 2020. So make sure you tune in for that. All the thank yous out there, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So says he has a question about queens. Hit me up in Discord, buddy. We'll talk about it. And,
One other thing. I think you got me this week. I was on a little win streak. I'll just throw it out there.
Didn't
You
think I
got me.
eked you out this
Like, you eked me out, even though we both did pretty solid.
I out
was like-
assassinatoed you. I think that was the doom switch.
Shit tilted me, man. It's so tilting every time, man. But yeah, we'll do a $10 giveaway. Probably have to give away PayPal, maybe ACR. Probably get to that tomorrow. But either way, let me know, and we'll work something out. But I'm gonna run that giveaway.
All right,
then
so before you
kick
do
off
that, Toe
race.
Army, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the host over to Sixes so that you guys can jump in over there and give us a love, and then Sixes will throw it to whoever's going to throw it to next. I'm going to come over there too and hang out. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Click the follow button, both for me, both for Sixes. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you tune in. And thanks for the love, guys. Hey, man, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw God's Big Toe the shout out. Make sure to give him a follow, guys. And thanks, buddy. Yeah, we'll talk soon, man.
All right, man, I'm throwing you the host right now.
Yep. All right, guys. Let me get the setup. Let me get the giveaway